Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. God has blessed us again. He deserves all of the glory, all of the honor, and all of the praise. I wish I could get just a few people that's sitting in your living room, that's sitting in your dining room, sitting in your kitchen, even sitting in your bedroom, and just begin to open up your mouth and give God some praise. Glory to God. Hallelujah. We've come to worship Him this morning for all of the ways that He's made, everything that He's done, every victory that He's won. We just worship Him. Hallelujah. Not for the things that He's done, but simply because of who He is. And we glorify the Father. Hallelujah. When I lift up my hands, I acknowledge that I am yours to command. I surrender everything that I am when I worship. When I worship. When I worship. When I lift up my hands, I acknowledge that I am yours to command. I surrender everything that I am when I worship. When I worship, it's not for the things that you do, not the trials you brought me through, not because you've been faithful and true, but when I worship, it's just because I love you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, it's just because I love you. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. When I worship, when I bow at your feet, revelation of your glory. wrapped all around me, and you keep me from all hurt, harm, and danger. It's just because I love you. It's just because I love you.
Yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Just because I love you, Lord. I know you do so much for me, but when I worship, Lord, it's because I love you. Yeah. God bless you, beloved. We welcome you to the service emanating from the sanctuary of Chorus Christ Ministries and Christ Freedom Bible Church. We thank you for tuning in. We pray that you're being blessed each and every time we are blessed to come to you. We praise God for you. Now, I know you have your Bibles out, so get your Bibles out, open, and turn to Acts. Acts chapter 17. Acts chapter 17. And start with me on verse 24. Amen. Yeah. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Yeah. Neither is worship with men's hands as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things. He hath made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed in the bounds of their habitation, that they may seek the Lord, if haply they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. For in him we live and move and have our being, as certain also of your own courts have said, for we are also his offspring. For as much then as we are the offspring of God, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone graven by art and man's device. This is the word of God for the people of God. Come on, pray with me. Almighty, everlasting, and awesome God, Lord, we just thank you for being the God that you are. Oh God, we just consider your ways, God. We're just in awe of you, Father. You've been so good to us. Your grace and your mercy keeps us from week to week. With all of the things that are happening around us, God, you just see fit to keep us. Not because we deserve it, but because of your loving kindness. So we just thank you, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for this service, God, for enabling us to have this service week after week. We thank you, Lord, for all of those who tune in. All of our families from Mount Eagle and from Christ Freedom and from Chorus and those whose affiliation I'm not aware of. We thank you, Lord, for all of them. We pray, God, that they are truly blessed as a result of this service. Continue to work in us and with us and through us, Father, for the edification of all of your people in the earth. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.
I lift my hand in total adoration to you. You reign on the throne. For you are God and God alone. Because of you, my cloudy days are gone. I can sing to you this song. I just want to say that I love you more than anything. I lift my hands in total adoration unto thee. You reign on the throne, for you are God and God alone. Because of you, my cloudy days, they're all gone. I can sing to you this song. Yes. I just want to say that I love you more than anything. Oh, love me in your arms. You are my shelter from the storm. When all my friends are gone, you are right there all alone. And I've never known a love like this before. I just want to say that I love you more than anything. And I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you.
Hallelujah.
Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything.
More than anything.
Oh, I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything. Oh, I love you, Jesus. Yes, I do. I worship and adore you. I just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And I just want to say that I love you more than anything.
Just want to tell you that I love you more than anything.
All right.
Thank you, Lord, for your goodness and your mercy, how you watch over us week in and week out.
All right.
We've been going through some things, I guess, for the past month or so, as a result of the pandemic and as a result of all of the stuff that's been going on as a result of loss of life. And in my spirit, this thought came to me this week that we need comprehensive change.
All right.
We need comprehensive change. There are constantly, beloved, negative events and negative situations that reflect a need for change.
All right.
Change in the mental mechanisms that drive those negative events and situations.
Yes.
No event, no situation cries out for change more loudly or more vociferously than the current situation that resulted from the unwarranted death of Brother George Floyd.
All right.
What do we need to understand and what do we need to evaluate concerning the causal factors of our present untenable situations.
Yeah.
There obviously needs to be a change in mental mechanism. A change in those whose mindset allows them to harbor the belief that all men are not created equal.
Yeah.
And those who would demean a person's worth based on skin color, ethnicity, social status, or any of the many other variables so prevalent among humanity today. In the minds of those who believe that there is no such animal as systemic racism in America. There needs to be a change, beloved. Anyone who honestly holds such a view that there is not systemic racism in America has either been living somewhere other than planet Earth or smoking too much tobacco. It does not take the X-ray eyes of Superman to see that there is systemic racism, systemic discrimination, systemic belittling of certain people, and it's alive and well today. It's those kinds of mental mechanisms, beloved, that result in the horrific maltreatment, killings, and decimation of character of many of God's precious people. There needs to be a change in that kind of stinking thinking that reprises, beloved, the kind of situations that we are dealing with today. But that alone would not constitute comprehensive change. Webster tells us that comprehensive is dealing with all elements or aspects of something. Comprehensive change would then involve the way we respond to those unpalatable and unwarranted reprisals.
Yeah.
I have to acknowledge that this thought was inspired by some words to one of the songs that was rendered at the homegoing service of Brother Floyd. These are the words in the song, "A Change is Going to Come," that stroked something in my spirit. The words are, "Then I go to my brother, and I say, brother, help me please." But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. And I have to tell you, beloved, that vehement and determined protests against murder and inhumane treatment, they are undeniably called for. But when protest takes the form of carnage instead of concord, some brothers and sisters are being knocked back down on their knees.
Yeah.
When years of sweat and toil in establishing and building businesses are made null and void in a few minutes, some brothers and sisters are being knocked back down on their knees.
Yes, sir.
When there is destruction instead of defense and deliberation, somebody's being knocked back down on his or her knees. When protest takes the form of rioting instead of righteousness, it's a sign that comprehensive change is needed.
Yeah.
Now, we could elaborate on the role and responsibility of the powers that be, but that's the most significant, impactful element that needs to be in comprehensive change. We don't have time to talk about it in this 5-minute reflection. The approach to comprehensive change is available and accessible in the Word of God, beloved.
Yeah.
Romans 12:2 in the New Living Translation says, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think."
Okay.
Then Romans 12:17-19 says, "Never pay back evil with more evil.
Yeah.
Do everything in such a way that everyone can see that you are honorable. Never take revenge.
Right.
Leave that to the righteous anger of God. For the scriptures say, I will take revenge, I will pay them back, says the Lord."
Yeah.
We need comprehensive change. God bless you.
Thank you.
And David left his carnage in the hand of the keeper of the carnage. And ran into the army and came and saluted his brother. And as he talked with them, behold, there came a champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, spoke according to the same words that David heard him. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him. And they were sore afraid. Slipping down to verse 32, and David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine.
All right.
Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and a man of war from his, and he is a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep. Came a lion, a bear, took the lamb out of the flock, and I went after him. Excuse me. And I went after him and smote him and delivered him out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by the beard and smote him and slew him. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear. And this uncircumcised Philistine will be one of them, seeing he had defiled the armies of the living God. David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered him out of the paw, that delivered me out of the paw of the lion, out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of the Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee. Finally, down in verse 45. Then said David to the Philistine, thou come at me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come at thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defiled. This day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand. I will smite thee, and take thy head from thee. And I will give the carcass to the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth will know there is a God in Israel. And for all the assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with a sword and a spear. For the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hand. You may be seated. Amen. Amen. As the Lord has worked with me on this, I've titled it Fearless Faith.
All right.
Fearless faith. Come on, somebody.
All right.
This is probably one of the most familiar scriptures in the Bible. Everybody knows the story of David
to the new. Good now, Almighty. David was the youngest of 8 brothers. Most theologians put David somewhere between 12 and 19 years of age. War broke out between Israel and the Philistines. David's 3 oldest brothers had joined the army, and each army was on a plateau with the valley being the battlefield. In other words, the Philistines were on one army, the Jews were on the other, and down the valley is where the battle took place. David asked his daddy to take your brothers some rib tips and some cola and some chips down to the front line. And you see, when a fight was going on, it was not unusual for the fight to identify a champion on each side. And put the whole battle in the hands of those 2 champions. One from each side, and the winner would win, and the other army would surrender because of that. Goliath was the Philistine champion. Every day he came out of the Philistine camp, talked about the Israelite cowards. He strolled through the valley talking about their family heritage, calling them poultry, taunting and slamming them. Yeah, David had this kid that had no military experience and had a fearless faith that he could whip a 9-foot warrior whose armor weighed over 200 pounds. His spear alone weighed 20 pounds. Good God Almighty. I guess that part of my concern this morning is that we modern Christians have become comfortable with fearful faith. We're afraid to step out on faith. We don't really believe that faith conquers anything. We've come to be far more comfortable with what we have come to have seen done than what God has said. Science has gone so far and invented so many answers to previously unanswered questions that faith is now taking a backseat to science. In other words, our first answer is a scientific answer. Come on. I don't look to faith for my heart failure. I look to a heart transplant to deliver me. See, I don't look for faith to cure my bladder infection. I look for penicillin to take care of my bladder infection. Faith in God is not always my first response, I'm sorry to say, but it comes as a last resort, and that's what I'm concerned about, why I want to address faith today. Wherever we go and whatever we do, our trust needs to first be in God. Come on, somebody. It is God that will bring us through a heart transplant. It is God that gave mankind penicillin from section. Jesus told us the greater is He that's in us than He that's in the world. Good God Almighty. Jesus told us that sadly on Sunday mornings, Jesus didn't say this. Sadly on Sunday mornings we claim mountain-moving faith. Good God Almighty. We claim we can do anything. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us up. When something happens on Monday, all things turns into something. Oh my God. It's time. It's a shame that this big God we worship on Sunday become a little God on Monday. The old story, about the man with a wheelbarrow on Niagara Falls. I'm sure you've heard it. It's been preached a number of times. But the man had a wheelbarrow, and there was a tightrope that was going to go across Niagara Falls. And so he got up on a tightrope, and he walked across the tightrope. Folks said, ooh, wow. Then he put a blindfold on, and he walked across the tightrope, walked across this wire across Niagara Falls. Then finally he said, do you believe I can do this with a wheelbarrow? And all the folks said, I don't know, I'm not sure. He took a wheelbarrow. He was blindfolded on a wire going across Niagara Falls, and he walked back and forth. And he said, now do you believe? Folks said, I believe. He said, now I need a volunteer from the crowd. I need somebody to get in the wheelbarrow. I don't know. See. We may say we have faith, but James told us that faith without works is dead. See, on Sunday we got our shout on. We can run the floor, jump the pews, foam at the mouth, but ain't no way on Monday we're going to get in that wheelbarrow. Come on, help me somebody. Sunday we proclaim with His stripes we are healed. Monday we get a hangnail and we're on our way to mail. On Sunday we say, God shall supply all my needs according to His riches in glory. But on Monday we get an unexpected bill and we run to file bankruptcy. You see, on Sunday we say we're going to let the Lord fight this battle.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold my peace. And somebody talk about you. You're going to tell me, hold my religion so I can cuss you out. We lose it. We need to fully comprehend that our faith can conquer anything. The root of the word faith comes from a Greek word which is pistis, which means trust.
Yeah.
It means trust. Faith is trusting in God. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Faith is trusting in God. Faith in God is trusting in His character, trusting in His promises. One dictionary definition said this: faith is intellectual assent to the facts concerning God and making your life-changing reliance on those facts. Hebrews 11:1 in the Amplified said, faith is the assurance, or the absolute confirmation of things hoped for that have been divine, things that have been divinely guaranteed, and the evidence of those things not seen, experienced by the physical science. We've got to walk in faith, but without faith it's impossible to please God. Very clear. And we walk in faith because the Bible is also clear He's a rewarder to those that diligently seek Him. So why not walk in faith? I have coined something I call the faith quotient. See, this faith quotient is our level of faith is the numerator, and the level of our fear is the denominator. So the faith quotient is divided by fear. The faith quotient is faith divided by fear. Now we all have some fear, and I remember the dad, if you remember, whose son was a lunatic, and Jesus came and healed him and said, I can heal him if you can believe. He said, I can believe, but help my unbelief. See, the problem is all of us have a little fear and a little belief. But as long as our faith is greater than one, as long as fear divided by faith, there's a little bit more faith divided by fear. As long as a little more faith than fear, then God can do whatever God has to do. As long as faith in God is greater than the fear of our circumstances, we can speak to mountains and they'll be cast in the sea. But when fear is larger than faith, we will fail and be overcome by our circumstances. I can't speak for anybody else, but I want a faith that can conquer anything. The Bible talks about the devil is going about like a roaring lion, whomever he may devour. Whatever problem we're dealing with, he wants to intimidate us and make us think that his problem is insurmountable. Put simply, the devil is a bully. The prognosticus in our pericope today is Goliath, and Goliath was a bully. See, a bully tries to continually intimidate you and let fear overwhelm you in your spiritual perspective. A bully is defined as a person who hurts, frightens, threatens, or terrorizes over those who are smaller or weaker. I expand the definition not only include persons, but situations that want to try to intimidate you. Because of their enormity. Bullies want to make you think that they are bigger than you are and bigger than God. And intimidation is a part of what a bully will try to do. Intimidation is a part of sports. I don't know if you put you watch The Last Dance. Michael Jordan was trying to intimidate the other team. And so in sports, intimidation is always a part of it. It made me think about, it's a little rabbit trail, but when I was in high school, we had a high school football player who was on our team. Jay was 6'5", 350 pounds. And we would drive in a little yellow bus to our out-of-town games. And our school was a pretty big school. Evanston Township High School had a couple thousand people, and most of the rest of the suburban league had 1,000 or less. So we were one of the bigger schools in the league. When we got to the football game, we would drive out there and take the bus and drive the bus right to the football field where the opposing team was warming up. We'd take Jay and put Jay in a straitjacket. Then we'd open the bus and let Jay come out of the bus, and Jay would come out of the bus in this straitjacket. And he would scare the other team until we would run out and we'd grab it. Come on, Jay, come on back. It's not game time yet. and we put Jay back in the bus, the other team, we would just, some of the other team would want to immediately turn it into jockstrap. It was over. It was over. We got their minds. That's what a bully wants to do with us.
Sure.
He just wants to get our minds, get us intimidated, get us scared. My God. Spiritual bullies are forces that come into our life that try to make us change directions, doubt the power of God, and just plain give up. We must not live a life where we are more concerned about where the bully is than where God is. Things that challenge our faith are usually pretty big. When little stuff, a hangnail shouldn't do it. It will never be some little issue that we can handle ourselves. By my definition, to be a faith challenger in our life has got to be bigger than our natural ability to handle it. I'm talking about a pain slip at 50 when you got no savings. I'm talking about diagnosis from the doctor that you have breast cancer. I'm talking about when your spouse of 20 years walks in and says that the marriage is over. The things that challenge our faith will never go away by themselves. They won't quit. Goliath came out running and ranting for 40 straight days. He taunted the Israeli army. The more you ignore a bully in your life, the louder they will get. If we let Goliath get a toehold on our mind, he will not relent. He won't get tired, and eventually he won't leave you alone. Instead, we'll be consumed with fear. We are affected in our sleep, our relationships, and our parenting. In this text, in verse 23, it says that Goliath came up. You see, he stopped just walking through the valley. Now he's starting to walk up this other side. You see, it says that Goliath came up. He stopped just walking, but when he started climbing the mountain, you don't have to go down to meet the devil. Stay there, he's going to come up to meet you. That's all I'm trying to tell you right now. The Israel army had lost its faith. Look at verse 20. In verse 20, this is the day that David first comes to the camp. The Israeli army is preparing for war. It says they shouted for the battle. And you need to get the image. Again, my football analogy, before a game, we used to sit down, put our hands in the center, and go there and go, how to fight, and go running out to the field. Well, that's what that Israeli army was doing. They shouted for the battle. They were shouting a war cry. Said, let's go get them. We bad. 2 bit, 4 bit, 6 bits $1 all for Israel. Stand up and holler. Up steps Goliath. And in verse 24, it says they all ran in great fear. I couldn't help but wonder what happened to them. We bad. In science, we study about irresistible forces and unmovable objects. The scientific dilemma was always who won when those two things collided. All I'm here to tell somebody today is that God can move the immovable object and can resist the irresistible force. I can't, but I know who can. I will continue to look for all my help to come from the Lord. I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize. I will be steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Thanks be unto Christ, who always gives us the victory. Hallelujah. Glory to his name. God Almighty. Praxis concludes sola fide because of theodicy built on his immortality, immutability, and his impeccability. In other words, we can take fearless faith in God to the man. There are 3 things I believe I see in the text that show us what David saw to give him that fearless faith. I believe if we can see the same 3 things, it will give us the same kind of fearless faith. First thing David saw, opportunity, not obstacle. Opportunity, not obstacle. You see, in verse 26, David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? David saw a chance to bring glory to God. When we're going through something, when something comes in our lives, we need to begin to see a chance to give God some glory. David's first response was to realize that God he served could be greatly magnified through the destruction of this bully. We need to begin to look at the trials of our life with different eyes. What a witness to our family when we demonstrate our ability to overcome our fears. What a witness to our church when we demonstrate our ability to overcome some tragedy that might strike our lives. It was many years ago, but I'm always remembering
there's a man where something fell off a truck and 4 or 5 kids in his house and his family all got killed. But nevertheless, he stood up and said, God is good. He stood up and glorified God to this whole thing. You know, and not only is it a time to glorify God, but when something comes, God is up to something. God just may be opening the door. I mean, for David specifically, David had been anointed to be king. But his job title was shepherd. How was he going to get from shepherd to king? But immediately, David could recognize that if I slow this giant, I may be taking my first step to kingdom. Come on, somebody. So whatever's going on in your life, you know that God is working it out. And don't run from it, walk with it. God's going to take you where he wants you to go. Good God Almighty. Should I ask, every problem is just another opportunity for God to solve them. Jesus on his way to the cross in John 12 said, should I ask the Father to save me? Jesus rather prayed, Father, glorify your name. We need to learn more how to give God glory in our sickness, our misfortunes, our struggles, and our temptations. But those who are trying to serve the Lord themselves over our lives, they're trying to lord themselves over our lives will be much richer when we have made the mental commitment that we will glorify God in every situation we find ourselves. David wasn't scared. He was offended. Who was this uncircumcised Philistine? By the arms of the living God. But secondly, David recognized his previous preparation. See, he never fought a man as big as Goliath. But he had fought a lion. And he had fought a bear. God had given him experience that had prepared him for this moment. You see, I can imagine that when the lion came, he was afraid and fearful and prayed to God. Then I can imagine when the bear came, he was a little afraid, but not quite as much afraid because he remembered what he did to the lion. And he slew the lion. This Goliath was a little bigger lion. You see, we need to recognize that God has already gotten us ready. If you look back on your life, you're going to find that God has already given you some experiences, some opportunities, some things that will help you go through whatever he just put in front of you. God will not put on us anything we cannot handle. He will not allow us to be tempted beyond what we can bear. We can always know that the eyes of the Lord are going to and fro, looking throughout the whole world to show himself strong to those hearts who are perfected towards him. Paul, that I glory in my infirmities, that the strength of God might be made perfect in me. You see, many of the things we face that seem so large are really nothing more than things that we already face in a smaller scope. We may not have ever had to deal with heart surgery, but we probably had some kind of surgery. And God brought us through that. We may not have seen our retirement fund get cut in half by the stock market, but we can remember when there wasn't a retirement fund at all. You see, what I'm trying to say is that if we look at our life's experience, we will probably find out that we've been prepared for this trial of our faith. We've been prepared for this. Maybe not on the same scale as a trial, this trial, but a trial God brought us through nevertheless. All our life experiences are geared to prepare us for our next life experience. God has always allows things in our life so that we can just see how strong, so that we can see how strong he clearly is. The third thing that David saw, in addition to previous preparation, is David had clarity on his champion. David said, you come at me with a sword and a spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. The armies of heaven. David knew who the real champion was. And it wasn't him. You see, when we think it's us, that's when we have a problem. You see, David knew who the real champion was. It was the Lord. The battle is not ours, but it is the Lord. See, the Philistines had a champion named Goliath. We got a champion, somebody. His name is Jesus. Oh, he will fight our battles. Moses told the children of Israel that the Lord shall fight for you, and you should hold your peace. If your cause is pure and you're willing to stand on the word of God and step out on faith, he will fight every Goliath that comes up into your life. We got all kinds of trouble when we think that we'll fight this Goliath by our own might and our own strength. Somehow we start telling ourselves, we just try a little harder, we just work a little bit longer, we exercise a little bit more regular, we get just few more things in order. We fight our issues like we are the captain of our fate. But let me tell you that is not the truth. We've gotten our champion confused. See, we got money problems. Begin to think that job is our champion. We're in trouble if we think Lincoln, Hamilton, or Jackson is somehow going to save and restore us. See, we get sick and begin to think the doctor is our champion. We get depressed and think Johnny Walker, oh help me somebody, is our champion. We get lonely and begin to think the cleanup woman or Nip Skip is our champion. We get it wrong and we think that our pastor is the champion. I'm here to tell you that none of that's true. David had God as the father of his David had God the Father as his champion. We got God the Son as our champion. We got faulty faith if our faith is anything that does not include Jesus Christ. Jesus is the answer for the world today. He's the one who died that we might have life. He's the one who became poor that we might become rich. The great I am, the creator of the earth. Nothing was made that he did not make. Come on, somebody. Well, we got a champion that's got all power in his hand. I hope you know him. Christos, Kyrios, Theos, Emmanuel, bread of life, the great shepherd, the one who is and was. What is the truth? The way, the truth, and the life. He'll be what you need when you need him. Because he will always be what you need. Good God Almighty. He was an optometrist for blind Bartimaeus. Good God Almighty. He was a dermatologist for 10 lepers. Come on, somebody. He was Nicodemus' night school instructor. But he was a lion tamer for Daniel. He was a firefighter for the 3 Hebrew boys. He was a lifeguard at the Methuselah pool. He was a wine steward in Cana. Come on, somebody. David versus Goliath was a great battle. God empowered David to kill Goliath with a slingshot. One little pebble in the hand of a boy guided by God is destructive. Come on, somebody. Greatest battle ever to take place. David versus Goliath was a great battle. But the greatest battle ever took place on Mount Carmel. A mountain called Calvary. It was of cosmic proportions. It looked like the devil had our champion on the ropes. It looked like he was about to go down for the count. He stumbled on his way up the hill. He was crucified and buried. The referee began to count. 1, 2. When he got up to 9, he thought it was over. The devil was in his corner, jumping up and shouting victory. Glory, glory, glory. But he did not keep his eye on Jesus. Good God Almighty, Jesus came up from the floor of the canvas with a right hook, took the devil out. His partner, death, tried to jump in the ring to save him. Jesus took the death out also with a right hook. For the record, death no longer has a stain, and the grave no longer has a victory. My champion, my Jesus, now has all the titles. Good God Almighty. Because he got up with all power in his hand. Be strong in the Lord. And the power of his might. Faith in Jesus will never be disappointed. I want you to understand that faith in Jesus will never disappoint. You see our obstacles as opportunities. See our previous preparation because we've had it. See with clarity our champion. I have a friend that says once she was going through, she said, I'm going to fake it till I make it. But as she grew stronger in Christ, she told me to change that. I'm going to fake it till I make it. That's all I really want to say. That's all I want to say. Other than there's a song, and I'm just going to speak the words. It says that we want a faith that can conquer anything. A faith. We want a faith that sees the invisible, expects the incredible, receives the impossible, the unmovable, stands the invincible. Faith that can conquer anything. Hold on, you can make it. Don't quit, don't give up. Hold the God's unchanging hand. Faith in God will always bring you a reward. Believe in Him. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we have talked to your word. God, we're going through, we've got all kinds of dilemmas, just specific to pandemic, God, but there are all kinds of ailments and struggles and loss of jobs and finances and wayward children. God, there's just so many things that could destroy us. Bullies trying to take us down. But God, we turn to you as the author and the finisher. We pray, God, that the hearts of those that hear this message are renewed and encouraged to realize that put their trust in you. You will come through. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Amen.
Hallelujah.
You know, and one of the mysteries of doing this virtually is you don't know who's out there, who's listening. There may be somebody out there today that has never accepted Jesus Christ as Lord. Or maybe you accepted Christ some years ago in Tupelo, Mississippi, and you've been up here in Chicago for I don't know how many years and haven't seen the church yet. Don't know what your individual condition is, but Christ stands at the door and He's willing to receive you right now. If you will say in your heart with me that I believe that Jesus is God's Son. I am a sinner, but I believe Jesus can save my soul. I believe He died, and I believe He rose again, and I believe He sits at the right hand of God making intercession for me. If you said those words and you believe them, God has accepted you. Your salvation is secure. We invite you to come to Couriers or come to any church that you know and let them know that you gave your life to Christ. And as your faith is now in Him. And if by chance you get a chance, we hope you might send us a note. Let us know. Put something on His Facebook page to say thank you. I've accepted Christ as a result of what's going on today. Amen. One other thing that I will say before I give it back to Pastor Roy is that I want to encourage you to come to our internet, come to our homepage is what I'm trying to get myself together. If you on Facebook, if you go back and look at the picture of the church and hit learn more, you'll get to our website, which is CouriersForChrist.org. Couriers for Christ, and it's a Couriers4Christ.org is our website. You can learn more about us. You can find out about our church and our philosophy, and you also can hit the donate button finally at the giving, and we'd appreciate any offering you can send our way. This is for the visitors. Members, you know what you're supposed to do. Amen.
God bless you. We thank God for a powerful and relevant word from Pastor Henry. For those of you who have tuned in, just a couple of reminders. We want to remind you we have our prayer lines on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock, and we want, of course, all of our members and friends to be a part of that prayer line. The Bible lets us know that men ought to always pray. There's so much need for prayer in today's world. Then on Thursdays, Mount Eagle has a prayer line at 7 o'clock every Thursday. That's been a powerful time of prayer. So we invite you to be a part of that. And then Pastor Lowe has Friday Night Light. You put in Friday Night Light, and I listen to him at 6 o'clock. He's only there for 30 minutes, but it's a power-packed 30 minutes. And so I know he would appreciate hearing from you on Friday night at 6 o'clock. And as Pastor Henry has said, we ask that you really support the ministry. it's been challenging. We're not getting on all the things that we need to do everything we want to do for this ministry. If you've been blessed, we ask that you would bless the ministry with your giving. Amen. We need it. We're not a begging church, but there are just obvious needs to carry on this kind of ministry. So we would ask that you would give and give heartily. And someone said that, we have all the good news and bad news. The good news is we got all the money we need. The bad news is it's still in your purses and your pocketbooks. So we ask that you go in your purses and your pockets and help us to continue to carry on. God bless you. I thank God for my son here, Pastor Lee, who does so much with the technology and with the music and everything. So God bless all of you. And we ask that you be safe and be a blessing. Amen. Bless you.
Jesus is